Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. Today is round number 5 of PSGL around Brazil, and usually we lack a little bit of qualifying pace here, but I've also had days where I had a really good qualifying session here, so yeah, it depends how I feel setup wise, I think this track is just very setup sensitive, so I did quite a bit of practice, even though it's the off season. As you can see there, we've missed 2 rounds. Last time out in Jeddah, one of my favorite tracks, I had to miss because I went to my first WRC rally, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, but unfortunately missed a round. Nonetheless, we're still in the championship fight, even though we missed 2 rounds. Simply because we won 1 race, and the other race I think we finished like P5, so we still got decent points in those 2 races, and in the other 2 races we missed, the others didn't do that good as well. So today we're gonna try and close the gap to the championship leader, which is our teammate Jake, who is in the championship lead after having only 1 podium finish. So I have no idea how they did that. That just shows that the average finishing position is not great for the top 5. And that's also why we're still so close in the championship after missing 2 out of the 4 rounds. But we did 1 fuel burn lap here in our first lap of Q1, and then I decided to go for my first push lap simply because we would be lighter and yeah, give us a little bit of extra pace. I felt like I didn't need to have that backup in case we mess up turn 1, 2. I felt like I just needed to nail it on the first try, so yeah, it's of course a little bit more tricky when you only get 1 go at it, but I felt like it was worth the extra bit of pace. So far it's been a very tidy lap. A bit of a moment there on the exit, bit of an hesitation on the throttle, a little bit of a wiggle on that flat out left-hander as we go into the final sector. It's gonna be flat out. It's basically 1 corner, so it's basically all just straight line speed. It is a hard corner to get right. It's final corner, easy to lose the rear, but up to the line it's a 107.152, and that is enough.
Having fun, Jake.
For
Were you cooking?
P4. No, I wasn't. Now I didn't need to go out again in Q1, so extra set of tires saved for Q3, and that means we could do Q2 on 2 new sets of tires. So yeah, very happy with that, and I think that shows that we are quite comfortable around here today. So that's the first time in PSGL this season, and I think I'm actually up to pace. And into our first new tire run of Q2, you can see we are currently P4. Basically everyone had gone out on a used set of tires, so we are actually in P4, and I think we put in a pretty solid lap there. Not good enough though, because obviously a new set of tires, everyone is going to improve a lot on that new set, and we're going to have to as well. So important lap here to get a good banker in and set us up nicely for that last run in Q2. Into the fast right-hander, usually very understeery, which then snaps to oversteer, which is always very hard to catch and is a common characteristic, yeah, you know what I mean, of this game. Understeer entry and then a big snap of oversteer on the exit. Very hard to catch. And into the final sector we go. Luke Smith, a 106.93. And we're gonna try and go a little bit faster than that. It was a good middle split there. Q2 is usually pretty low grip as well, so if we can get into the 106, that would be very good. Up to the line we go, 4.6 ends up, and we go P1. We are actually P1 in the qualifying session. Solid. And I didn't have to go out again, so we've got 3 new set of tires for Q3. You can see that I ended in P5. And the only other person on the grid who has 3 new sets of tires for Q3 is Thomas Ronner. Usually you only need 2, but because Brazil is such a short track, you can actually go out 3 times in Q3. So that's huge. And that means we get 3 opportunities to set a really good lap. So I chose the right time, right track to be really fast in Q1 and 2. I nailed my qualifying laps from the get-go, And Thomas Ronar 106.800. He's gonna go for 3 runs as well here in Q3. We go half a tenth slower, but yeah, we still got 2 more tries.
The last.
As you can hear there, I wasn't very happy with my last sector, but on to our second run. Through the middle sector we go. If we mess this one up, it's not too bad. We were 300 up through that corner. But yeah, if we want to be fighting for pole, we're gonna have to improve quite a bit more than that, considering P1 and Q2 was already an 8.4. Into the final corner, it wasn't great, got a lot of understeer, and yeah, we're 5,000 down. Coming across the line, you could maybe improve because the delta can be a little bit off, but I decided to box. Thomas did finish his lap and went P1 with a 106.71. However, that is also not going to be enough for pole, and that's why I decided to box and do a fuel burn lap, just as I did in Q1. And now we're going to get one opportunity to fight for pole position. New set of tires, once again. Light fuel, the lightest we've been so far. I burned off all my fuel, and we are going to have just enough for this one final Q3 lap into turn 1. Easy to lock up the left front, however we nail it. Bit of a moment on the exit though, twice actually. Backhand wants to step out, however we're still 1.400 up as we head into sector 2. And we're going to be 9,000 up on Wilson Huge. Down to 5th gear, missed the apex a little bit, however kept the minimum speed up nicely. But so far not a great lap. We're equal to our banker lap. Into the fast right hand, there we go. Now track evolution is going to play its biggest part here in the middle sector. Patrick Siepels goes to P1 with a 106.564, and through the middle sector we go. We're 800s up, and we're going to have to improve a lot more if we want to be fighting for pole position. 310s actually, and that's looking very unlikely at this point. However, we can still fight for P2 here at least. Into the final corner we go. Better than our banker, and we're going to be 1.1 tenths up as we head into the final few corners of the track. It's all easy flat out though. Coming across the line, it's going to be a 106.709 purple last sector.
6.
And P2 it is for now. However, still a lot of people to finish their laps. Thomas Ronar comes across the line, goes P2, Alvaro Carreton P3, we go P4. Now it's just Jake Benham, our teammate, coming across the line. He's P7. And Luke Smith 7-0 in P10. And yeah, I was pretty happy with the lap, to be honest. My PB was a 106.69, so only like 1/200ths faster. And yeah, that's kind of been the story of this game. I just don't have the pace. I nail my quali laps, but I'm just not fast enough. And yeah, honestly, I don't even see how I can do a 106.5 at all. Like even a 5.9, I just don't see it. But yeah, that's been basically the story of the year. I nail my quali lap and I'm still only P4. If I don't nail it, I'm P9 or P10, if not worse. So into the race we go then. This is where we usually are fast, unlike quali. And we're going to be starting on the hard compound behind Alvaro Carreton, Thomas Ronar and Patrick Siepels. The entire grid is going to be starting on the hards. It's going to be 5 red lights. And away we go for round 5 of PSGL around Brazil. We get a little bit of wheel spin in that second phase. Wilson Huge gets alongside us, and I have to leave space here because I didn't know if it was going to be 3 wide. It wasn't, so we concede that position because I was a little bit conservative there into turn 1. Into turn 4 we go then. We have to be careful here because the pack bunches up a bit. Danny Bresnay has been spun around, and his race has gone from decent to really bad in a really short time. Anyway, we need to try and get on with a race and try and get P4 back. We were lucky that I think Danny ghosted, because I think otherwise we would have been taken out as well. But back to our race. We need to try and get our P4 back because it was a poor start. I haven't had good launches of the line in like forever. And I don't really know why, unless it's wet. But in the dry I never seem to get good launches of the line. It's a bit of a weird game to have starts on anyway. Of course, in real life you got clutch, and you need to nail the clutch release, etc. and the biting point. But here it's just throttle and you let go of your upshift pedal. Anyway, P5 it is. Let's try and gain back something. Up to lap 15 we go now.
1.0. Yeah, you'll get
I skipped 14 laps because nothing happened. Brazil is very boring on this game to race on. As I get my first track limit warning there, we need to be careful of that, as we can't get any penalties because you will drop so many positions if you get a penalty in this grid. Especially on Brazil, where it's usually very, very close together, as it's just one big DRS fest, and yeah, you can't afford it. You lose too many positions and too many championship points. Anyway, we're closing in on the pit window. Of course, everyone is gonna have to box for mediums. You can maybe go for softs if you got a new set very, very late on. However, I think it will be way too slow. Softs are terrible in the race on this game, so honestly, that would not work. And I reckon as we move on to lap 17, we're gonna see our first people boxing here. And as you can see there, Luke Smith boxing for a new set of mediums. And yeah, it's quite a long way. 19 laps on a set of mediums. Ideally, of course, you're always going to do more laps on the hards than the mediums. But Luke felt like that was not needed and boxed at the end of lap 17. A lot of people are going to be covering off the undercut here. And as you can see there, Patrick Schiepels and Wilson both boxing.
Not going to get undercut from behind.
Yeah. A new set of mediums.
I think Lucas are only worried. Undercuts.
Yeah.
Alfie, sorry. If he doesn't start.
Yeah, and Luke, obviously.
Yeah. Now, of course, if Alfie boxes this lap, we are most likely going to continue anyway, because I felt like
72.
78.
I felt like there were quite big gaps, so I felt like it wasn't really necessary to go for an undercut. I felt like staying out a little bit longer could give us a little bit of an advantage. Might lose 2-3 positions, maybe 4. However, having a new fresh set of tires will be worth it. Plus, if you stay out longer, you can have the opportunity of a safety car, of course, which turns around the race massively.
What are you thinking?
I'm staying out.
I think I'm going to start as well. I don't really see the point. Yeah, I'm staying out.
So yeah, Overclockers on boxes. Alfie Butcher comes into the box as well. However, he retired, and I've literally got no idea why. Like, he was still fighting for points easily.
Thinking?
I'm staying out.
Maybe a damage, I don't know, but still, I was a bit confused by that. Thomas and Jake decided to both box. I decided.
Oh, I nailed it! Oh my god!
I decided to stay out and go for 1 or 2 laps more, depending on where Jake comes out. Because if Jake comes out in like a big gap, then of course I might as well stay out. Because if I'm not gonna get undercut by any more people, you know, I might as well just stay out an extra lap. And yeah, take an extra lap, fresh your tires, simple as that. And Jake came out basically right ahead of Marcel, so that's why I decided to stay out another lap. So we've got 2 lap fresher tires in Jake and Thomas. And yeah, that way we've got no traffic coming out of the box. A little bit conservative on pit entry, but you know, I'm gonna have to press my button on the keyboard to turn into the pit lane. Still one of the dumbest futures I have ever seen in the F1 game. Having to press a button on your wheel or keyboard to turn into the pit lane. Anyway, back onto track we go. Jake sets a fast lap, 108.6, as we were doing like 110.3, I think so. So we lost like 3 seconds probably, staying out those 2 extra laps. However, we are gonna have 2 lap fresher tires, and you will gain that time back over the course of the race, or over the course of the rest of the stint. So 1.3 seconds behind Marcel. However, again, we need to warm up our tires, which is probably going to be done by the end. By the end of this sector. Now, if you compare it to like Luke Smith, we've got 5 lap fresher tires, and those mediums are going to be struggling by the end of this race. So yeah, I think we've got a big advantage here. We just need to be patient, not use too much ERS, trying to catch up too fast, because we're going to need that to overtake, of course. So our tires were warmed up by the end of that sector. Now 2 laps later, we are on to the back of Marcel, and we need to be very close here to make the overtake on the main straight. So we need to be close going into the final corner, and then we can try and go for an easy move on the main straight. Now Marcel is going to get DRS as well, so it is not going to be an easy move. However, Marcel boxed pretty early, so he knows as well, if he fights this hard, then he might just lose extra positions later on in the race, or he might be hurting his own potential this race. So simple as that, he's not going to fight this too hard, and that way he can gain positions later on. Because if you have someone behind with so many laps fresher tires, there's not really any point to defend or fight a fight that you're going to lose anyway. So 2 laps later again, right onto the back of Luke Smith. There are some people who stayed out really long, in order to hope for a safety car. Because of course, if you stay out long on the hards, you get a safety car. It's basically a free pit stop, and you could go for softs, for example.
Instead of higher battery.
Anyway,
Oh, he's flashing.
Oh,
we
okay.
need to try and get past Luke here on lap 28 somewhere, because we can't stay any longer behind. He is flashing, we are not. I'm gonna turn on the overtake button and try and get past here. And as you can see, he is flashing. However, it seems like we don't get that much overspeed from using the overtake button. As Luke leaves just enough space. Again, very good battle with Luke.
I don't know how much.
Just like in USA, great battle. He fought it hard but fair, and up to P6 we go, right behind our teammate Jake Benham now, the championship leader actually, and he's gonna try and extend this championship lead, of course, which is gonna be pretty hard considering Thomas is leading at the moment, and if he wins, then obviously I think Thomas will take the championship lead. And yeah, anyway, Jake's gonna try and get past Wilson here on lap 28.
I don't know how much he has. I'm just gonna push him.
I think at Alpine in the middle is flashing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is.
Williams.
I am.
You're flashing.
Yeah. Oh, he's turned to me, thanks! He's just turned mid-corner. Oh, inside.
Yep.
Did you just see that?
Yeah, I'll push.
So up to P4 we go. A little incident between Wilson and Jake.
Oh, I've got damage. Oh my god, man.
Very famous last words, as per usual, from our Jake. We've got damage. Anyway, on we go. Very unfortunate, but it's only 7 laps to go, so I reckon Jake can still get good points here. Same for Wilson, but we're gonna have to get on with it and try to get back into this DRS from Patrick ahead. You can see we're 1 second behind. I used a bit of ERS there to gain a few extra thousandths of a second. Same on this exit, and we're just about gonna get DRS here. And that's what we really needed. Patrick has 3-second time penalty, by the way, and all we have to do is basically stay within 3 seconds to get on the podium. Now, of course, we want more than P3, so we're gonna have to get past Patrick in order to fight for the win between Alvaro Caraton and Thomas Ronar. We're gonna have to get past Patrick fast. However, we are low on battery, you can see 5%, because we had to close that gap so quickly to make sure we got DRS again. Lap 31, we managed to recharge a little bit, but not enough for now. Patrick gets a big snap of oversteer, and through we go, up to P3. He locked the rears, and that's a free position for us. Now again I had to use battery to make sure I got DRS.
I think he's got DRS, I wouldn't know.
And yeah, that was very nice for us, because P3 position. However, we still had to use the ERS to get past. Or not even to get past, to stay in the DRS from Alvaro again. Because I had to avoid Patrick a little bit, which cost me time. And of course, we would have been out of DRS if I didn't. So, lap 35 now, 1.5 laps to go. And we are on 35% battery. However, that's realistically not enough to put up a fight in these last few laps. In the last lap, actually. So, what I'm gonna do here is just sit back and save our battery. I'm gonna use a little bit on the exit to stay close in case something happens, but that final 20% I'm just gonna save in case they tangle or like crash a little bit. But yeah, for now Alvaro is not close enough to put up a fight, and I'm once again just gonna sit back, open the DRS and hope that something happens. Alvaro goes for the move around the outside, however doesn't manage to pull it off, and Thomas is flashing though, so that means maybe somewhere in the middle sector Thomas can do something, or Alvaro can do something, but it's not looking good at the moment. Thomas has been super fast in this mechanical grip section. He always gets so much minimum speed and a lot of traction in these sections, and Alvaro just can't keep up. We've got 30% battery remaining. Alvaro is trying still very hard to stay close. He gets a big snap of oversteer on this exit. We're gonna turn on the overtake button, but it is gonna be too little, too late here in Interlagos. You can see Alvaro flashing now as well. We are as well. It's P3. Unfortunately, not the win today, but...
Oh, there's no way I should beat him. Well, not ideal for the championship, but... Well, I'm going to be in the stewards. That's where I'm going to be.
Now, obviously, he didn't get the win, but however, we still got a good result, you know. Quite happy with P3. Brazil usually on my strongest track. We dropped to P5 as well. I managed to climb back to P3. Strategy was maybe a little bit risky, but in the end of the day, we were fighting for the win in the last few laps. So I think I got it right. Maybe boxed one lap too late. Always hard to say. You don't know what would have happened if I boxed a lap earlier. I would have maybe said that I had to box a lap later. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
I'm in the AMG, no bitch, you better not play with me. This ain't no